Hey y'all, I just want to talk again to ladies, single mothers to be specific, and I'm really going to try not to come off as being like I'm frustrated when I really am frustrated, and when I'm angry. I need to understand why we don't have mothers that are parents anymore. And when I say that, perfect example, back when I was growing up, my mom made sure that boundaries were set that we could not cross as children. And what I mean by that is, if she had company, like her friends would come over, or if even our grown-up relatives, if they would come over and grown people were sitting in the living room having a conversation, we were not allowed in their room because there were certain topics that we were not privy to. We were not old enough to understand what they were talking about, so we didn't need to be in the room. And we made sure that if we saw them talking, we went outside to play, or we went into a back room and played and did what kids do. These days, you have more kids in grown-up conversations. They can tell you more about the topic than the grown-up can. I don't understand that. Another example is when you live in a quiet neighborhood, specifically a neighborhood that doesn't really have children in that neighborhood, or even if they do have children in the neighborhood, we got to teach our kids not to be running across in people's yards, not to be running all up in their driveways, not to be at other people's houses, period. A lot of people may think that that's something small, but it's really not. It's something that is big because it teaches that child boundaries. And a lot of our children today are crossing boundaries, and they're not crossing boundaries with each other. They are crossing boundaries with adults. So that's something that, we need to zone in on. And I'm specifically talking to my single mothers. You have no business allowing your children to go outside and you are nowhere to be found. Your kids, and I'm not saying that everybody's kids are like this, but the ones that I have encountered and that I've seen, these are the children that I'm speaking on, and these are the mothers that I'm speaking to. You have no business allowing your kids to be running around outside in other people's yards, around the neighborhood, and you don't know where they are. You're nowhere to be found. You inside doing whatever it is you're doing, but you don't even know what your kids are outside doing, and that is a problem for me, because in these times, you got people out here snatching kids every day. You got people out here just doing whatever they want to do to your kids. And it's all because they're not being taught boundaries. I should not have to be as a empty nester because I have kids, but they're all grown. And I was a single mother, so I understand. But I made sure that when my kids were outside, I was somewhere to be found. Like, they knew where I was. I knew where they were. If anything was popping off, I was right there. Mothers, when you had these children, you had to know that this was part of the process. You have to teach your children to not cross boundaries, because when you cross boundaries away from home, the consequences are much more than what they are when they are at home. You got people out here killing kids these days. You got people out here raping young girls. And you got people out here snatching kids, trafficking kids. You got people, it's just a lot of stuff going on in the world today, and you guys need to be privy. You need to understand what is happening in this world and what is happening in your surroundings. What's happening on the next street over. What's happening in the complete neighborhood. You can't let your babies go outside and just be out willy-nilly throwing the football, and the football is landing in somebody's yard, and they've already told your kids, don't play in my yard, and you still playing in the yard, making the ball go up. That's not cool, because what if that person snaps on your kid? You got to think about that. You're gonna run outside, and then you're gonna be out here, why are you this and why are you that, and then you want to buck it. No, you should have had your kid checked from jump. I was trying not to go into fuss mode, but this is real. It's a real topic for me, and I just don't understand it. Not only am I a mother, I'm an educator, and I deal with people's kids every day, all day. It is not my job as a teacher to raise your kids. You need to teach your children boundaries, and that starts at home. That don't start at school. That starts at home. I can't teach a child that's going home to an environment where there's no rules, no boundaries. So I can't teach your kid boundaries. That starts at home. And this is not up for debate. I don't care what nobody has to say, because I'm the one that's encountering this. This is my experience. And I am telling you, as a person who is experiencing this and a person that teaches kids every day, that it is important for you as a young mother, or I don't care if you're old, young mother, old mother, just a mother, a single parent, whatever the case may be. It is important for you to teach your children boundaries and rules, so they will know how to function and operate and move in this society.